Guys, take a look at your backyard for a second. To you, it is a place for fetch and sunshine. But to your dog, every time they step through that back door, they are walking into a biological lottery. Because what's lurking in the grass and under the leaves is a tiny, silent assassin. It only takes one single invisible bite to deposit a microscopic parasite directly into your dog's bloodstream. Within 6 months, that parasite will grow into a foot-long, spaghetti-like monster that will physically clog your dog's heart and lungs. As a pet parent, the fear of heartworm is overwhelming. You do not want to see your dog suffer, and you certainly do not want to face a $5,000 emergency surgery bill. Most owners believe that the only way to fight heartworm is to pump their dog full of heavy internal chemical pesticides every 30 days. But today, I am going to reveal a secret veterinary strategy that the big pharmaceutical companies rarely talk about. What if I told you that the best way to stop heartworm is to never let the doorway open in the first place? What if I taught you how to build a 30-second natural repellent barrier that blocks parasites from ever making contact with your dog's skin? Hi everyone, I am Dr. Tony Lee, your neighborhood veterinarian. Right now, we are in the absolute peak of the hot summer mosquito season, and so many of you dog owners have requested this exact video in the comments. In this masterclass, I am going to teach you the reality of the heartworm doorway. I am going to give you my secret DIY recipe for a 30-second fur shield that you can safely make in your kitchen for pennies, while warning you about the deadly internet myths you must avoid. I will show you how to build internal heart resilience using precise, perfectly measured natural superfoods, and I will reveal the smart, low-dose safety protocol that keeps your dog protected without the chemical overload. Hit that subscribe button to join our amazing family of educated pet protectors. Grab a notebook and let us build your dog's armor right now. Welcome to Chapter 1, the bloodstream doorway. To block heartworms, we first have to understand exactly how they get inside. Heartworms do not just appear out of nowhere. They cannot be caught from another dog's poop or by drinking from a puddle. They have one and only one external doorway into your dog: the mosquito. When a mosquito bites an infected animal, it sucks up microscopic baby worms called microfilaria. Those worms mature inside the mosquito. Then, that same mosquito lands on your dog. It pierces the skin and deposits those matured larvae into the tiny wound. They bypass the digestive system entirely and go straight into the bloodstream. Here is the secret most owners miss. If we can prevent the mosquito from ever landing, we have effectively closed the door on heartworm entirely. Most traditional vet care focuses only on killing the worm after it is already inside. Today, we are focusing on the exterior defense. Welcome to Chapter 2, the 30-second first shield and the internet lies. Dogs are heat signatures and carbon dioxide magnets. Mosquitoes find your dog by tracking the scent and the warmth of their skin. If we want to protect them naturally, we have to create an invisible scent-based barrier that masks your dog's identity to the parasite. We are going to build my favorite DIY natural repellent spray. This is 100% safe for dogs and uses zero harsh synthetic chemicals, but please listen carefully because the way you mix this matters to your dog's safety. Write this recipe down. You will need 1 cup of distilled water, or for an extra boost, a half and half mix of distilled water and raw, unfiltered apple cider vinegar. Just make sure your dog doesn't have open scrapes, flea bites, or irritated skin, as vinegar can sting. To this liquid, you are going to add exactly 10 drops of pure therapeutic grade cedarwood oil or neem oil. Now, here is the absolute most critical part of this recipe that every internet blog gets wrong. You cannot just drop oil into water. Essential oils float on top of water and vinegar. They do not mix. If you do not use an emulsifier, those 10 drops of oil will sit on the surface. And when you spray it on your dog, those undiluted, highly concentrated oil droplets will cause severe chemical skin burns. To make this perfectly safe, you must add a carrying agent to emulsify the mixture. Take a tiny squirt of fractionated liquid coconut oil, aloe vera gel, or just a couple of drops of gentle dog-safe liquid Castile soap, and mix the essential oils into that first, Then mix that bonded liquid into your water or vinegar. This creates a beautifully safe, perfectly mixed spray. Give it a good shake. Every evening, right before you take your dog out for their sunset walk or their final potty break, give them a light mist. Focus heavily on the belly, the legs, and the base of the tail. But wait, before you spray this all over your dog's body, we must do a veterinary patch test. Dogs can be allergic to natural plants just like humans. I want you to spray one single pump onto the back of their leg, wait 24 hours, look closely at the skin. If you see bright red hives, swelling, or if they are obsessively licking that one spot, wash it off with soap and do not use the spray. Their skin is too sensitive for those specific botanical oils. And this brings me to a highly specialized medical warning that separates good advice from great veterinary medicine, the MDR1 gene mutation. If you own a herding breed like a collie, an Australian shepherd, a Shetland sheepdog, or a border collie, you must be incredibly vigilant. These beautiful breeds often carry a specific genetic mutation that creates a faulty blood-brain barrier. This means that certain pharmaceutical medications and even highly concentrated botanical compounds can cross directly into their brain and cause severe, fatal neurological toxicity. If you own a herding breed, you must ask your vet to run a simple DNA swab to see if they carry this gene before introducing any heavy essential oils or new medications to their system. Before we move on, I need to clear up some very dangerous internet myths. There is a terrible rumor online that you can feed your dog natural ingredients to kill heartworms in the bloodstream. I must tell you as a veterinarian that this is absolutely false and highly dangerous. You must never feed your dog large amounts of raw garlic to prevent mosquitoes. Garlic causes toxic anemia in dogs and destroys their red blood cells. You must never let your dog ingest or swallow essential oils as they cause massive organ failure. And please completely avoid toxic herbal cures sold online like black walnut extract. Black walnut is highly toxic to canines and can cause severe neurological tremors and death. We only use safe topical repellents on the outside of the fur. Now, building that 30-second barrier on your dog's fur is your active shield. But why let a swarm of mosquitoes surround your yard in the first place? Before we look at internal protection, you need to lock down your outdoor space during peak summer. Here are 3 $0 environmental tactics every owner needs to use right now. First, eliminate the breeding grounds. Mosquitoes only need a single bottle cap of standing water to lay hundreds of eggs. Dump out plant trays, bird baths, and outdoor water bowls twice a week. Second, dodge peak danger hours. Mosquitoes are most aggressive at dawn and dusk. Shift your heavy outdoor fetch and play sessions to midday when the sun keeps them at bay. And third, my favorite vet hack, use a simple outdoor box fan. Mosquitoes are remarkably weak flyers. Setting up a basic fan on your patio where your dog hangs out creates a wind wall that literally blows parasites away before they can even reach your dog's coat. We have secured the outside with our spray, but what about the inside? If a rogue mosquito happens to slip through the shield, we want your dog's cardiovascular system to be robust. Welcome to Chapter 3, Building Heart Resilience and Precise Dosages. A healthy, strong heart with elastic blood vessels is much harder for a parasite to hijack. We can actually support your dog's cardiovascular health right through their food bowl. The first addition to your internal shield is hawthorn berry. In holistic veterinary medicine, hawthorn berry is known as the ultimate heart herb. It is packed with bioflavonoids that strengthen the heart muscle and improve circulation. But you must dose it correctly. For a small dog under 20 pounds, aim for about 50 milligrams of a pet-specific hawthorn extract once a day. For medium dogs up to 50 pounds, 100 milligrams is perfect. And for giant breeds over 50 pounds, you can safely use up to 200 milligrams mixed right into their food to provide long-term structural support for their heart tissue. The second addition is fresh omega-3 fatty acids, specifically from wild-caught salmon oil. Omega-3s are the ultimate biological fire extinguisher. They keep the lining of the blood vessels smooth and healthy, reducing the localized inflammation that occurs when parasites try to attach. The golden rule for pure wild-caught salmon oil is roughly 1 teaspoon for every 20 pounds of body weight. So a 40-pound dog would get 2 teaspoons mixed into their dinner. Now, what about the gut? We talk a lot about adding probiotics to your dog's food to build their immune system. Probiotics are incredibly vital for fighting off bacteria and digestive issues. But I need to be totally medically clear with you right now to prevent a false sense of security. The immune killer cells in your dog's gut cannot destroy heartworm larvae swimming in the bloodstream. Good gut health keeps your dog feeling strong and energized, but it provides absolutely no biological protection against a swimming blood parasite. Probiotics do not stop heartworm. Do not rely on them to do a medication's job. We have built a beautiful, natural defense system. But, as your veterinarian, I have to be completely honest with you about the reality of this disease. Welcome to Chapter 4, the Smart Safety Protocol. Our natural cedar wood and neem spray is fantastic, but we must set the correct expectation. Natural sprays are a high-level repellent. They drastically lower the risk of mosquito bites, but they are not a 100% impenetrable wall. They are not a magical force field. A hungry mosquito can still find a way through, and with heartworm, one single bite is too many. I want you to view your standard monthly veterinary preventative pill, like HeartGuard or Interceptor, not as a scary drug, but as your final low-dose safety net. Most people do not realize that heartworm pills do not prevent the bite. They actually act as a monthly cleanup crew. If a microscopic worm snuck past your natural shield 3 weeks ago, that one tiny monthly pill enters the blood and wipes the larvae out before they can ever reach the heart. If you use the Fur Shield spray and the internal heart superfoods, you are doing amazing proactive work. You are drastically reducing the number of invaders your dog has to deal with. This allows you to use the standard preventative as a backup, ensuring that your dog is 100% protected. And you must never skip the annual blood test at your local vet clinic. It is the only way to mathematically confirm that your shield is working perfectly and that your dog's blood is clean. But what happens if you skipped a few months? What if you took your dog to the vet for their annual test and the blood work came back positive? What if your dog already has heartworms? Finding out your dog is positive for heartworm causes absolute panic. That scenario requires a completely different, highly specific, and very intense medical protocol to save their life. And that is exactly what we are going to talk about next. Make sure you are subscribed and have your notification bell turned on because my next video is exactly that. We will cover what to do if your dog tests positive for heartworm, the step-by-step medical treatment guide. You do not want to miss that life-saving protocol. Protecting your dog from heartworm does not have to mean choosing between all chemicals or no protection. You now have a sophisticated multi-layered defense strategy. You have the external fur shield to block the bite, you have the internal heart resilience to strengthen the organs, and you have the veterinary safety net to guarantee total survival. By taking 15 minutes of your day to understand this complex biology proves that you are a highly intelligent, dedicated pet parent. You are not just reacting to problems, you are building a fortress of health around the dog you love. By testing the skin for allergies, recognizing genetic mutations, and understanding precise dosing, you are elevating your pet care to a professional level. And I want to know about your backyard too. Do you live in an area with a lot of mosquitoes? Have you ever tried making your own safe, natural bug repellent before? Tell me your story down in the comments below. I read every single one, and I love hearing how you are keeping your pups safe. So if this deep dive gave you a new way to look at heartworm prevention today, please gently hit that like button.